If you're here to see how these Chucks got transformed artistically to our favorite clown Pennywise, please look in the description box down below for a jump point of how they became that. For now, first, we're going to see how did she like them. So here we are, and well, Grace, this was supposed to be for your birthday, but I couldn't wait. So it's from me and Alex together. It's a collaboration, but it's kind of special.
A little collabo.
Oh, so anyway, it's Valentine's Day.
Wendy did the legwork on this one, all the heavy lifting.
So it's Valentine's Day. See, Valentine's Day.
I spelled love wrong.
Oh, whatever.
Cheer
so
up.
Anyway, I couldn't wait to start here.
Yes, Valentine's Day sucks.
Right.
Why didn't I do these in the morning or yesterday where I can wear these for school?
Hey, come. Say it one at a time. So what do you think they are?
Oh my god, I see it.
What do you see?
Yes!
See where they were special?
I'm wearing these.
Oh, it's a tan Chuck. What?
Like?
Oh my god.
Guess where that came from?
Your brain.
I hand painted that.
Let's see it.
You seriously didn't realize that?
Hold it slow. Stop. Oh, let's get a still frame. Turn it around slowly.
It's okay. They're going to see the rest of the video, which shows
give us a
it.
turn
Sexy
around.
montage.
Because I did some time.
Whoa! A little close up on that.
You seriously didn't realize that I hand painted that?
No.
I did. I hand painted that with my love for you. My love for you.
Yes, I know that you love me. Oh
That's
my god.
right.
And the other one is Jigsaw.
Thanks for spoiling it, Alex.
Whoa!
What do you think? There's a nice message inside for you. You can read that later. Okay, happy Valentine's Day. Love you.
Love you too.
Jammer family knows I had a hiatus and I was a little frustrated. I had to set down doll stuff and do something creative in a different way and a different something. So this is what I did to bypass my frustrations and take a break. I got these inexpensive used Chucks from eBay. I got them used because I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to pull this off. And I simply threw them in the washing machine to clean them. They were hardly used, but anyway, I didn't want to buy brand new because I didn't know if I could do it. So first things first here, I made a pattern. You can see quite simply, I just used a pencil to get the idea and shape of what space I had on each side to work with for what I was trying to make happen. I did want to bring it all the way around to the back because I thought that would look really cool. And I did it in pencil and then I did it with marker so that I could see what my canvas was for this project. When I got one, then I therefore went to my window and just traced to do the other side so I would have an even amount to get my proper measurements for the canvas and get my clowns looking good. I wanted to do the older clown and the newer clown, and I just got on Google Images and looked at many and tried to find the best faces I could, and I knew I was gonna have to change it just a little bit just to make it work and to see where my skills were. I'm not a hand painter this way, but every now and then I get influenced and I can pull something off. So I just had to make do with my skills. I just showed you, I took, just blew that up, pinched it open so I can get it to the size I wanted, and I just lightly traced right on the iPad what just giving me a basis of what to start on. But now, how do you transfer that over onto there? Well, for one, I needed it to be nice and flat, so my surface not giving, so I stuffed a towel in there so that I would have something to work against. And that worked out pretty well. It gave me something easy to hold. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, there's two there. Just guys, I want to let you know. So, are we going to get to how do I get this pattern? Oh, yeah, we do right now. Look at that. Let me correct myself because this is 2 months later that I'm editing this and trying to remember what I did. I held the piece of paper down and I moved it down like this and just used my pencil to get a ballpark of where my primer has to be. That's what I did first because I wanted to make sure it stuck to the canvas and was going to stay after all this work. So I think when I held this against it, I just made my lines maybe about 1/4 of an inch off, and from the pattern line, so I could fix it later to get exact. Now I got my primer, my favorite project, or primer you all know about. I got a nice stiff brush, bristly type brush, so I can really get that primer soaked into the canvas. How awesome, they're actual canvas sneakers I'm painting on. I actually got excited about this customizing. And here you can see where I have at this point with my primer. Now I don't know if you need this. This is just the house painter in me that says you should do it, especially when I knew I was going to use acrylic paints. And anyway, I just jammed all of that stuff in there, was very, very careful around the grommets, and it's easy to pick that off. Grommets, did I call it the right thing? Who knows? Anyway, this took a little while, but I also thought it would make my surface better once I got the regular craft paints on there. It would let me not have to do this while I'm trying to actually hand paint and be artistic. Hard to be artistic when you're jamming it in there like a 3-year-old. So that's what's going on here. Oh, okay, so I brought it over and made sure it was going to overlap and have some continuation, not just abruptly stop where you could see it. Now's the time I'm going to show how I transferred my tracing lines and guidelines. This is an old trick I learned from a sign painter back in the day. Just take your lines and poke holes in them and make the pencil dots go right through to the canvas. And I'm going to show this in a minute as a whole, but you make a whole bunch of dots, gives you a basis and guideline, and then you just connect the dots and you kind of got your lines there where you need them. I could not do this without this kind of thing. Like I said, my skills are somewhat good in this department, but not really. So I don't know, this is old graphic design, before graphic design went on the computer. Okay, so here is where I'm showing you exactly, for those who love the visuals and really want to get it and see how I did it. If you're bored with it, just go ahead and fast forward or something. But anyway, right now, so I laid it on really flat, got I'm holding it ever so perfectly to not be sliding it. I got that washcloth to press against, and now once I start, I can't stop, so that I keep my guidelines pretty well dead on. Got my pencil, it's nice and sharp, and someone's helping me with the camera. Thank you. That would have been Alex, because Gracie, this was all a secret. And I almost got caught once, but I did good. I had to do this really, really different times so she wouldn't catch me. As you can see, I'm just holding it very firmly. Luckily, the canvas, there we go. We got dots busting right through the paper and keeping it right where it needs to be. Dot, 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 dot. And this keeps me, at least, as I said, my guidelines, so my sizing that I wanted. Like, I wanted these eyeballs to pop. It was just a vision I had, and where it was really had to matter. So now I'm just blubbering on and on without anything really to say besides, oh, look at, there is obviously my face shape going in there, and I'm liking what I see. So I'll continue on with this just like I did on the other one. Whether I'm going to show it or not, do I show it that I end up taking my primer on my outer things? Let's see, what am I doing here? Okay, I see. So I got really particular, and I'm showing you how I finished off the dots on this area on the older it face, and this is how it looks. You can kind of see the shape. It's taking its shape and helping me a lot anyway. And now I'm referring to my picture to kind of get it. You do have to have some artistic flair here. I'm not saying this is easy for everybody, but these are the things that at least get you going if you feel like you have some painting flair. And here you'll see me just connect those dots. Now I am showing stuff for anybody who may be monitoring this. I hope I don't get a copyright hit, because I'm just looking and doing this for personal enjoyment, showing people how they can do their own designs on canvas sneakers. I am not selling these or selling the clown or selling anything that has to do with it or the clowns. So I'm mumbling to say these are just a gift for my daughter, and I wanted to show our fans how they can make their own if they are fans of the It and Pennywise clown too. So have I mumbled and jumbled? through that enough while showing this very boring part, which is kind of interesting, but still boring nonetheless. I did, now you can see what I was talking about. That primer is only went so far by my ballpark doing it earlier, but now I know whether I show it or not. I do take the primer, take the time, and bring it right out to the lines that I've now ended on the left and the right, and swirling around to the back. Yes, eyebrows. Eyebrows were very important in this. It was like if I didn't get it, actually the eyes, if I didn't get the eyes and the eyebrows just right, I just felt like I was going to mess it up. And let me tell you, I'm not lying. This is not my normal thing. If these were regular faces, I could probably not pull it off. But because it's a clown that just needs realistic eyes, that is what gave me some confidence. And I really did enjoy this. And let me tell you, it was very therapeutic for my frustrations, and personally just put that all aside and just life personally rewarding. I'm totally glad that I wanted to do something different and went with it instead of forcing myself to do something I wasn't in the mood for. And yeah, that's where we are now. So come on, Wendy, how much did you show here? Oh, you got some eyes. Okay, I guess now we're seeing it take shape. That's good. I gotta tell you, it's kind of cool going through this, because I videoed this in hopes to show you all later so I wouldn't leave you out. But the same sense, I haven't looked at it. So this started in January, because I know I was doing some touches. Yeah, we're gonna see some stuff. I was doing it on Super Bowl, so I haven't looked at any of this footage, and it is now presently April. So this is kind of interesting for me too. Neat. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go on the primer. So what's next? Oh yes, let's speed through this, because what was next was getting that primer for the extra parts, and once I figured that out. So speed, yeah. Obviously I needed primer, got to make it good, got to make it last. I've sped it up, but now I'll go a little slower just to show some hand painting, because people like this part sometimes. And to point out, I had to hand paint close to the rubber, the red there, and I was just very, very careful. I had a little wet paper towel right next to me, so between that and my fingernail, if I did bump it, I scratched it off right away. Made sure I had no lumps and bumps in my primer, especially. I didn't care. So yeah, see, get that off right away. Make sure my primer was nice and flat, so any texture that did come is going to come from the colored paint, not from this. So it's now Super Bowl day. Alex and Grace went off to see the Super Bowl. I needed complete and utter silence and getting into my groove here to try and pull these eyes off first, so I was able to also set up this stop motion and relax. And I think this overall that's coming up took me, I think, 3 hours in stop motion. So I don't know what I'm gonna say, but it's time to get these eyes going in the basics, and I'll detail later. And this was the only part I did stop motion, and I think it's kind of cool to watch it happen. So as you're watching and listening, and the dog is snoring, you can see the faces come to light. I wish I would have been able to get you a better angle, but I really just needed my space. And I want to mention that a little shout out to Matthew Falls, because he commented just the other day here in April, and true to what I was feeling, he's right. And what was coming to the conclusion as I was pondering doing this is that I'm going to just show stuff that I like, besides the things I want to commit to finishing for everybody. If it's something cool like this and I just feel like showing it for fun, that's what I'm going to do. And that's that. So look at those eyes staring at you. This was quite very rewarding for me. I was feeling really good about myself and very artistic. Look at that. Yeah, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back for being creative. So here's where I'm at, and that session, and now I had to detail and pull off the ruffles. The ruffles I knew were going to be a little hard, this little shading. I don't think I've done that since high school art class. And it was just time to detail. So this is a different day, and here's where I'm getting at. Now it's time to fix those ruffles and get that going. I was feeling a little unconfident, but I was like, come on, I did these eyes, Wendy, you can pull off these ruffles. I hadn't even thought that far ahead, but especially on the newer, it really had to work. So anyway, I kind of thought back to high school and shading and sizing. What's a ruffle? Like, it's a concave one way, opposite the next way. I was really looking at the picture a lot to refer to it and help me. The good thing about this is, excuse me, nobody's gonna have their face up on it since it's on her foot, and gave me a little wiggle room. I can't say I can tell you exactly what to do. Sometimes you're just doing things and it works and it looks right, so you do it. I'm not Miss Artist here, nor am I Miss Teacher, but I just pretended like the sun was coming from one direction, and where would I have shading darker and lighter on a ruffle, and that's where I went. And I think it looks pretty good. And here's where I guess I'm just showing you this over and over again. Oh, and then I want to add more detail to other things. So yeah, you've seen me dry brush in lots of different ways for doll stuff. So in painting, I'm going to use this orange, so it's not just a red blob of hair. We're going to actually give it some definition of some sort. You don't see it unless you're close up, but far away you kind of do see it. So there's, you know, the thing that's enough, and that'll distract if I haven't got the ruffles done quite right. Like you can see his forehead wrinkle lines. Those were there, and it just add a little bit enough of a realism, and you know, you do see it from a distance, but not quite. And the orange obviously wasn't working for me, so I added a little more to the hair there because it wasn't distinct enough. And basically just using my eyeball to what I liked and what now looked like. I believe I ended up fixing the lip here. The lip wasn't quite as right as I wanted it. This one, the teeth took me a while. I actually had to use a toothpick to dot on the yellow just right so he had the yellow teeth. When all was said and done, I got this matte nail polish, and I put a thin, quick coat on the whole thing to seal it. So, you know, we don't have a lot of rain here in the desert, but I did want them to be durable. I wasn't sure. Look at that. Oh, and then I took some, looks like I took some black paint, and I outlined a little bit on that ruffle to make it a little more distinct where I needed to. Love the way it turned out. I couldn't be more thrilled. And I can say in modern day, in April, she's been wearing this. Her birthday was in April, and I gave them to her in February. She's worn them. Some slight parts have cracked a little bit. Maybe I put on too thick in there, because the other one isn't cracked at all. So here we are, some nice, good, wonderful views. Take this in. Maybe I've overdid it in how many views I've done of this, but I'm sure I had a purpose for this. Oh, well, here it is. There's the little message that we talked about in the reveal to her when she got them as a gift. I wrote her little messages so she can just always know I love her and made them, and I don't know, just me being me. That right there, I love the way these look from the back. Like, isn't that a way to catch your interest and go, what's up with that? What is on there? And she really enjoys them, I think. I hope you've enjoyed the artistry of this, and if you have, please do give it a thumbs up. I hope you've got lots of ideas. Don't give me a thumbs down because I stink at making video work. I know that.
Thank you,
But I can
Mom.
paint.